Fourth graders, it's Monday. It's your last week of school. Hang in there. You can do it. And today we're going to talk 16.2, lesson 16.2. It's going to be about triangles. Okay. Triangles can be identified in two ways, and you will name them or identify them with those two names. You have to be able to do that. So what you're going to do is you're going to think about a triangle, okay? 3 sides, 3 angles, okay? And we are going to classify them by the types of side measurements and the types of angle measurements, okay? I always think that it's easier to look at the angles first, but it doesn't really matter. You can do angles first, you can name them by that, or you can name them by sides. But for angles, you look for a right angle, which will have that symbol, all right? If there is a right angle on any of the 3 angles, that triangle automatically gets named a right triangle, okay? Because it has a 90-degree angle. If you make sure that you understand that all of these angles, these 3 angles, when you add them together, they equal 180 degrees, okay? So if one of those angles is right, okay, then the other 2 have to be less than 90 because they has to equal up to 180. So that's why we just name it a right angle, okay, a right triangle. Now you have the obtuse triangle, because you have an obtuse angle, which means that it's greater than 90 degrees, okay? So I've shown that to you in red, that this angle right here is greater than 90 degrees. As long as you, oops, I took that. Once you have one angle that is obtuse, okay, that makes the triangle obtuse, all right? So that's what that is. Then the last one for the side, or for the angles, excuse me, is an acute triangle, because all 3 angles have to be acute for it to classify as that, okay? You can't have an obtuse one and then you have 2 acute that it's obtuse, okay? That large angle automatically names it, just like this right angle automatically names it. Acute means all 3 have to be acute, the angle measurements, okay? So that's the first way you can classify a triangle, is by doing the type of angle measurements, okay? Then you do the other way to identify it, which is by the sides, the measurement of the sides, okay? Now, when you have a triangle, okay, that has all the sides the same measurement length, okay? That's why you see the one red line through every line, or that makes you understand that each one of those lines is equal, okay? When you have a triangle that has the 3 sides that are equal, it is an equilateral, okay? Equilateral triangle. If you have a triangle and it shows you that 2 of the sides are the same, okay? Only 2 of the sides are the same. It is an isosceles, right? So an isosceles will have 2 sides the same. That's why the line is right there, okay? Now, you have a third type of, you have a third type of measurement on the sides of a triangle, and that is called scalene. Now, a scalene triangle, I put that in here so you could see that that's got one side that's got one measurement, another side that has a different, and then the third one is still different. Now, in your book, you'll probably just see a scalene with no lines at all, okay, on it. But I just wanted you to understand that a scalene triangle has no sides that are the same measurements. All 3 are different, okay? Now, you can have a scalene isosceles triangle. You could have a scalene right triangle, okay? You don't ever have usually an acute scalene, because you usually have to have an obtuse or a right angle on there, okay? If you have an equilateral triangle, equilateral triangles usually always will have acute angles. All three angles will be acute, because equilateral, not only does it mean equal sides, it also means equal angles. So that means if this would have to be 180 degrees all inside, then that means each angle would be 60. So each one of them is going to be acute. So you're never going to have a right equilateral or an obtuse equilateral. Okay, you're always going to have an acute equilateral. In isosceles, you could have a right isosceles. You could have a acute isosceles. So you just have to make sure that you give me the name with both identifying markers, by its side, which would be either equilateral, isosceles, scalene, and then you also have to make sure that you tell me its angle name, which would be either right, obtuse, or acute. Looking in your book, make sure you look at the helper pages on 828, I believe, and then you're going to be doing 829 and 830, 1 through 15 in number 20. And then you're going to do 831 and 832, 1 through 6 in number 13. So work on that with triangles. And if you have any questions, get a hold of me. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.